My first memory of 2013 is a hospital bathroom. I figured out it was a hospital because I said I have to go to the bathroom, and two nurses carried me 3 feet from my bed to the toilet. They held me standing up because I said I had to pee. I pulled down my pants to sit down.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't feel or move my entire right leg, so I decided silence was my best option. That night, I dreamed I was crashing at a new friend's house. But her roommates had a secret plan to set the house on fire for insurance money. They opened bottles of carbon monoxide to put everyone in the house to sleep. I heard them scheming, so I ran to my new friend's room to alert her. But she was in with them, and I was part of the plan. She threw me back into bed and zipped up a giant net cage around the bed so I couldn't escape. The next day, I woke up inside the cage. My dream's new friend looked just like the nursing assistant sitting next to my bed. I couldn't feel or move my right leg. And my front tooth is missing! Later, I saw myself in the bathroom mirror. My front tooth is missing! The next day, I was telling Nate about another dream I had. And my front tooth is missing!
Hey, Kris. Do you remember that you called me at 5 o'clock this morning?
What? I did?
Yeah, you needed me to pick you up at the co-op and bring you your wallet?
Whoa, I remember that. I was so mad at you. I was like, you're my brother. You have to be there for me. And I got $41 worth of chicken cut up, and now I can't pay for it. I guess I was dreaming. Can we go back to my room now? I'm tired.
Kris, this is your room.
No, the bathroom's over there. Anyways, I know they're moving me because 3 days ago I was in a totally different room from yesterday's.
You've been here for like 2 weeks now.
I didn't know yet. December 2012 had been my apocalypse. I'm 2 blocks from my house, in the bike lane, crossing a cross street. Car guns through a left-hand turn. I had a pretty good crack in the windshield, but the concrete left a bigger mark on me. Helmet saved my life. Didn't stop my brain from flying around. Oxycodone kills your memories, so my intensive care unit experience is in stories told by my angels. Jess. 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 I can really talk out of my trach.
Are you trying to say dick?
Am I?
Are you trying to ask if you're a boy or a girl? Okay, well, it's a little more complicated than that. You started out as a girl, and then you sort of became a boy, and for the past few years, you've pretty much just been trans. Does that sound about right?
According to my ICU file, I was a post-operative transsexual woman. Thank God my vagina doesn't need dilating. Because you know those doctors didn't Google what to do with a trans woman's vagina. I can feel their ignorance, even in my semi-conscious, drugged-up state. Sometimes my critiques were misplaced, or maybe just foreshadowing. The nurses ditched a bedpan for a portable toilet they lift me up and set me on. You're so transphobic. You're only making me pee like this because I'm trans. The transphobia in this hospital. Weeks later, in brain injury rehab, I had the ecstatic realization that if I could learn to walk heel-toe, I'd be able to walk in heels again. My brain injury had cut off my brain's connection to my right-legged foot, so picturing my toddler self in heels made me laugh too. But my therapist wasn't laughing at my wobbling. Doc said,
Your brain injury makes you more sensitive to everything.
True. I think having no human rights makes you seem more sensitive too. My bed alarm would siren if I put one foot on the floor. If a certified nursing assistant was scheduled to shower me at 5 in the morning, she'd drag my ass out of bed, into the lukewarm water. When I was pissed at her, she couldn't tell me that she wouldn't treat a human like that if refusing wouldn't get her fired. Doc said I would not be released from rehab unless I accepted all the meds he prescribed. I was the one supposed to be healing, but with little agency in that process. I needed a reason to be, being treated like a non-human. The nurse running away from my vagina when she was supposed to be holding me up at the sink provided a logic of something to blame. I don't think I was being oversensitive to call that transphobia. Doc said,
I'll certainly speak to the head nurse about that. I think I took you off Prozac too early.
Blaming transphobia for my lack of human rights was a drop in the bucket. Nurse discomfort with my strange body was one example of many, of a system that makes people inhuman when it saves money. For my last 2 weeks in rehab, I couldn't fall asleep without being doped up. Night was when the people who made me human were gone. Night was when Nate, or niece, or Rose, or mom, or dad were replaced by some nurse pumping all kinds of meds into my stomach I had no knowledge of or choice about. At least the hospital taught me how to walk again, how to chew and swallow, how to get into a car. But months later, no number of delectable dinners and crosstown bike rides can purge me of this convulsion my body held for 2 months. I tried to figure out why no amount of good the hospital did could make up for the inhuman actions the hospital system breeds. You know, I felt lucky since the first day I thought about my white skin, and parents with jobs, and Christianity, and ability to walk around in a world that was constructed for people with my body and brain. In the hospital, I felt luck coursing through my body, because I've never had this experience before. Society devalidates people's humanness constantly, but I'm rarely one of the victims. Sure, privilege is having your humanness legitimated more often than not. So privilege is lack. Lack of the need to make new ways to validate each other's humanities we're more stunning than we ever knew we could be. Lack of the necessity to make friends who will always make you believe you're real, deserving human. Lack of the need to make family who will protect us and guide us, whether or not we understand where or what from. I realized that privilege persists because of all these lacks. White people need racism because we don't know how else to be. White culture doesn't teach us how to build friendships that knock down our walls, laugh at our insecurities, require that we're stunning. When we're lonely, if we're in an in crowd of people, it feels okay. It's easier to believe we're real, deserving humans, when we see other kinds of people just doing some things wrong. If they made some changes, they would deserve as much as us. It's easier to feel protected and guided if we only need to be protected from ourselves. Obviously, lots of us gays have these lacks too. Lots of us white gays, especially. When tons of us fought for marriage, as if some legal contract will make us lack less, I realized our biggest lack is family. I didn't know I had family, besides my biological, till Anise sat with me in the hospital for hours, every day, for 2 months. Till Jess spent every night for 6 weeks sleeping in the chair next to me so they could be my advocate to help decide what drugs were pumped into me. Till Nate, 5 years younger, became my older brother for 10 months. Till Eric moved out of our apartment in Philly half a year early so we could move to Minneapolis together. Till Elizabeth helped me clip my pubes. Till Adrian cooked me 6 meals a day and listened to me babble on and on for hours, relentlessly. We all deserve this. We all deserve to know if we get run over by a car, it'll be okay. If we get made unhuman in the hospital, or by the cops, or in prison, or by deportation, we all deserve to have people with us who believe we're human, whether or not we can believe it ourselves. Figure this out with me. Figure out how queer family can make us stunning. I'm sick of being taught how to cope with loneliness. The long, artistic, shadow-filled shots of men in suits with one bead of sweat sliding down their faces. The pulls of nondescript alcohol, the women as dolls, the freeways. I'm over solemnity, resignation. Tired of learning a gun's ice unless the hand wraps it. One finger at a time is the only last choice. Or the first choice out of a long-veiled last habit. Strange how little they show the men eating. The most familiar of lonely tasks. Maybe because it escapes resignation entirely. It is necessary to unsettling of a mirror. If I could dine with 100 lonely superheroes, I would ask them, does anyone want to know, how many people can you be in love with at once? Is it like asking how many favorite pairs of shoes can I have? Or how many earrings? Every gorgeous person knows the best accessories aren't numbered. They're just all at the best. I collect loves like rhythms, or drum solos. By the time I die, I might have 1,000 soulmates. My heart is one of those mushroom parachutes from gym class. The more people inside, the better it stays open. Loves. My gender? It has room for all of you. Your gender? It makes me. Love. What I need? All of you. What you need? It makes me. If I could dine with 100 superheroes, I would ask them, do you know how many people this lover of mine can be at once? Lately, just for me, they were family, and nurse, and sweetheart, and therapist, and badass high-fem magician, all in minutes, for 6 weeks in the hospital and 4 more on the phone. They were poop fingernail scraper, diaper rash alerter, constipation fighting hand holder in the bathroom, and the morning after fucking me for the first time in 4 months, they washed my ass of the shit I'd bed pooped in my sleep. They carried more shit up and downstairs, including me, than should ever be allowed without a fixed meal in return. They dressed my body expecting that the left side of my brain would learn how to move my right foot, as long as I'm booty shaking for that. They smiled and laughed like they were proud of me, whether or not I could find a way to feel proud. Because superheroes, this lover's who you would be if Hollywood wanted to get through the world's end. Because in 2012, this lover thought, fuck that, to the doctors who had predicted my death. And this lover hooked me in the sun that's always rising for them. So we're long over coping with loneliness. We're working for all of y'all, so we can be together, as is right. Because we're the best earrings and heels, yo. We're the best.